Oh, my fair warrior,
My dear Othello,
gives me wonder great is my content to see you here before me. Oh, my soul's joy, if after every tempest came such calms, may the winds blow till they awaken death, and let the laboring bark climb hills of seas, Olympus high, and duck again as low as hills from heaven. Were now to die, 'twere now to be most happy, for I fear my soul hath her content so absolute, that not another comfort like to this succeeds an unknown fate.
the heavens forbid but that our loves and comforts should increase, even as our days do grow.
Amen to that, sweet powers. I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here. It is too much of joy, and this the greatest discords be, smooch, that e'er our hearts shall make.
Oh, you are well tuned now, but I'll set down the pegs that make this music as honest as I am.
Come, let us to the castle. News, friends, our wars are done. The Turks are drowned. How does my old acquaintance of this isle? Honey, you shall be well desired in Cyprus. I have found great love amongst them. Oh, my sweet, I prattle out of fashion, and I dote in mine own comforts. I prithee, good Iago, go to the bay and disembark my coffers. And bring thou the master to the citadel. He is a good one, and his worthiness does challenge must respect. Come, Desdemona, once more well met at Cyprus.
Do thou meet me presently at the harbour. Come hither, if thou beest valiant, as they say, base men, being in love, have then a nobility in their natures more than is native to them. List me, the lieutenant tonight watches on the court of guard. First I must tell thee this, Desdemona is directly in love with him.
With him? Why, 'tis not possible.
Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the more, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies. To love him still for prating, let not thy discreet heart think it. Her eye must be fed, and what delight shall she have to look on the devil? When the blood is made dull with the act of sport, there should be again to inflame it, and to give satiety a fresh appetite, loveliness in favour, sympathy in years, manners, and beauties, all which the more is defective in. Now, for want of these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused, begin to heave the gorge, disrelish and abhor the more. Very nature will instruct her in it, and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, this is granted, as it is a most pregnant and enforced position. Who stands so eminent in the degrees of this fortune as Cassio does? A knave very voluble, no further conscionable than in putting on the mere form of civil and humane seeming, for the better compassing of his salt and most hidden loose affection. Why, none. Why, none. A slipper and subtle knave, a finder out of occasions, that has an eye can stamp and counterfeit advantages, though true advantage never present itself. A devilish knave. Besides, the knave is handsome, young, and hath all those requisites in him that folly and green minds look after. A pestilent complete knave, and the woman hath found him already.
I cannot believe that in her. She's full of the most blessed conditions.
Blessed figs end! The wine she drinks is made of grapes. If she had been blessed, she never would have loved the more. Blessed pudding! Didst thou not see her paddle with the palm of his hand? Didst thou not mark that?
Yes, that I did, but that was just but courtesy.
Lechery by this hand, an index and obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. They met so near with their lips that their breasts embraced together. Villainous thoughts, Roderigo! When these mutualities so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and main exercise, the incorporate conclusion, pish! But, sir, you ruled by me. I thought brought you from Venice. Watch you tonight, for the command I'll lay it upon thee. Cassio knows you not, I'll not be far from you. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio, either by speaking too loud, or tainting his discipline, or from what other course you please, which the time shall more favourably minister?
Well,
Sir, he's rash and very sudden in choler, and haply may strike at you. Provoke him that he may, for even out of that I will cause these of Cyprus to mutiny, whose qualification shall come into no true taste again, but by the displanting of Cassio. So shall you have a shorter journey to your desires, by the means I shall then have to prefer them, and the impediment most profitably removed, without which there were no expectation of our prosperity.
I will do this, if you can bring it to any opportunity.
I warrant thee, meet me by and by at the citadel. I must fetch his necessaries ashore. Farewell.
Adieu.
That Cassio loves her, I do well believe it. That she loves him, 'tis apt and of great credit. The more, howbeit, that I endure him not, is of a constant, loving, noble nature, and I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. Now, I do love her too, not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand accountant for as great a sin, but partly led to die at my revenge, for that I do suspect the lusty Moor hath leaped into my seat, the thought whereof doth, like a poisoned mineral, gnaws my innards. Nothing can or shall content my soul till I'm evened with him, wife for wife, failing so, yet that I put the Moor at least into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure. What thing to do if this poor trash of Venice, whom I traced for his quick hunting, stand the putting on? I'll have our Michael Cassio on the hip. Abuse him to the Moor in the rank garb, for I fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Make the Moor thank me, love me, and reward me for making him a gregariously an ass, and practicing upon his peace and quiet even the madness. 'Tis here, but yet confused. Knavery's plain face is never seen till used.